Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. We are seeing only one game today, unfortunately, but it's still gonna be a pretty great game. You are watching StarSeries Season 7. This is day number 8, game 1 of 1, and it is Fnatic's first game in the season, and they will be going up against Duza Gaming, who has been, of course, qualified to go into StarSeries last week, and I already have some games behind them, but we'll see Fnatic not only today but also 2 games tomorrow, so they're gonna have a busy weekend. I believe this is their first performance after TI3 as well. Of course, I will not be by myself for this matchup. I am joined once again by Vikermond. Welcome back.
Good to be back, Shiver. So 3 teams in Starlight are very heavily favored to be among the playoff teams of the season. Fnatic, Alliance, Navi. None of them have played any games yet, but today is the first for Fnatic. And I'm excited to see this team. I actually haven't seen them play in an official game since TI3, where they did well, but maybe not as well as they were hoping for themselves. They had a very strong run in the group stage, but then kind of bowed out in a quiet way a few rounds later in the playoffs. Nonetheless, a team that's very strong. It looks like they've kept every single person on their roster, which honestly doesn't surprise me. It's been stable for a while. They even had this team in Han, so I wasn't really expecting anybody to leave, and it looks like the same 5 are coming into at least the beginning of the Starlighter season.
Yeah, Kanja Sinep is indeed tricksy, as Hani made us believe for a second. I actually, like, I thought it for a second, could it be true? He said it's PGG, but yeah, that was...
Oh, they were joking about that in the lobby before,
I was actually not able to read the lobby. It was...
Velat said, like, if you don't ever... All of Fnatic had stupid, like, pub names, basically. So he was like, if you don't change your names, I'm just going to call you the names of unpopular Russian players like PGG.
That would actually be quite funny. So perhaps the Russians will think that he's actually playing. But we'll see. We have got still IO in the pool, by the way. I think that Fnatic is going to be happy if he's going to be going through. The other bans that we see are Nature's Prophet, Barrider, Darkseer, as well as the Alchemist. And I mean, all fairly favorable heroes. I'm kind of interested, like the Darkseer ban is not that common, of course. Darkseer ban, well, Darkseer has normally been a high priority hero. But Duza, they go for a bit of a standard, a bit of not so standard. We haven't seen Legion play OD, I believe, yet. However, we have seen Limbo play Doom, and he plays a very, very, very good Doom. So we'll see how they continue their draft. Nature's Prophet, of course, not in the pool, so that is going to be a hero that MIB the best normally likes to play. So he has to maybe step slightly out of his comfort zone. But I already like the lineup from Duza, but then again, Fnatic is definitely going to be happy with their IO.
I think Nature's Prophet is a sometimes food anyway.
Yeah.
Like, we saw a game with Duza where I was like pleading with them not to take Nature's Prophet, and then they did, and they lost, and Nature's Prophet wasn't able to make an impact, and I was very sad. One kind of challenge for their drafting is they do really rely on this Doom quite heavily, but as the season wears on, they're having to pick it earlier and earlier. Like, they really can't afford to let it go through the second ban phase if they want it, because it usually against Duza, now teams are going to start banning it in the second phase. So this means that they essentially have to parcel out one of their first 2 picks for Doom if they want it. Not that Doom is bad. Again, this is a hero who's very strong and I think quite underrated. But it does mean that one of your critical first picks has to be delegated to taking him. And in this case, Fnatic gets IO for their trouble.
Yeah, and they actually take a very long time to decide what they are going to be picking up next. They ended up with a Visage pick, making it possible for Duza to ban out the CK. I mean, I was kind of thinking, like, okay, you know what? Fnatic, first game after TA3, first official game that is. And they're gonna get IOCK. I mean, nothing has changed. We probably would also see, you know, all those standard heroes. Of course, Trixie wouldn't be able to get us Nature's Prophet anymore, but at least, like, I'm happy that they don't go for the CK purely because it allows us to, hopefully, allows Duza to ban out the CK and allows us to see something different than what we normally see from Fnatic, or what we are used to seeing from Fnatic.
Sure, Fnatic definitely one of the teams that runs the CKIO comp the most, you know, cleanly in terms of their actual execution on it. They can still pick it up. I think the reason that they left it is because IO has so many combos that are effective besides Chaos Knight. You can try to bait the other team into banning that, and then they essentially waste a ban as long as you use one of the many other effective IO combinations. So No huge reason to pick it first unless you're really, really desperate and you think that Chaos Knight combo is the specific one you need to win the game. Visage isn't also a great pick. I mean, it's a micro-heavy, micro-intensive hero, which is the sort of thing that No-Tail excels at from the support position. He really likes heroes like Chen, like Visage, that are gonna, reward a high skill cap.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking that MIB the best is going to be playing a Bounty Hunter this game. I mean, they ban out the clock. We have seen him on Bounty before, and I think it would be a pretty good one as well. Limbo, sometimes, I mean, he has done it a couple of times. I build a Blink Dagger upon Doom, and I mean, with a Bounty Hunter, that could definitely result in some aggression. I'm kind of curious. I mean, Duza definitely the underdog in this matchup. I mean, no doubt about that one. Although I think they have an element of surprise here that they have an advantage with, and I'm kind of hoping that they're going to make that count by being slightly more aggressive than what we normally see from them. They ban out the Razor, strong ban, of course. Don't want to have that up against the OD in the mid lane. There's still some opponents for the OD in the mid lane that can definitely do okay-ish. I mean, the Shadow Fiend comes
Razor's
to mind.
the big one.
Razor is the big one, at least. Indeed.
Shadow Fiend doesn't have that easy of a time, just because you can't... Actually, Shadow Fiend's kind of grim. Like, especially, you can kind of hack it with Shadow Fiend on Radiant, because you can go into the jungle and stack the easy camp, but it's still not fun, because your mana's just really low and you can't cast that many raises. It's really, really tough, actually, for SF. Other examples are, like, Kunkka does okay, Lone Druid doesn't do great, but doesn't do that badly. They've actually run Trixie mid Lone Druid before, so that is kind of a possibility. There's heroes that lose less, certainly, to OD.
We've got Bounty Hunter picked up by Fnatic, so that means that Duza still have their offlane to be picked up. They picked up a Chen and a Vengeful Spirit, though, so Unstable Vengeful Spirit and a Chen for Capron. I believe I have not seen Chen played by Capron just yet. He has played Enchantress, he's played Visage a lot, but not Chen just yet. Or at least not in Star Ladder.
Yeah. But same genre.
Yeah, same genre, just the micro-heavy number 4 position supports. And we're gonna see them being a nice duo because, of course, one thing that we know, if there's a Vengeful Spirit, we're gonna probably see a bit of a gank coming out from those two in the early game. As, wow, Fnatic goes for the Earthshaker. Is this gonna be Trixie Earthshaker offlane? No, it's not. I mean, there is a Bounty Hunter, obviously, but still, I mean, Trixie Earthshaker, isn't that one of his signature heroes? Or used to be, at least?
Yeah, Fnatic actually play the Earthshaker with a lot of different players on him, though, I believe. Like, I think Fly will play this as well, and I would suspect... Well, actually, They have Io, they have Visage. So, Earthshaker more likely than not going
Carry
to be
Earthshaker!
Right?
Sorry, I had to say it.
So, carry Earthshaker is a thing.
Yep.
Could also go mid, I guess? I don't know. Thinking about it.
Earthshaker up against OD, I mean, he only has his right click, then he can't hope to get enough mana to Fissure apart from once. We know that there is a new block. There's a new block. There's a block that's been shown like on the Radiant side to block for Earthshaker to go for the offlane. I believe we've seen carry Bounty Hunter before, like Bounty Hunter in the safe lane farming.
Yes. You can do that.
I'm kind of still hoping Earthshaker carry, though, because it's just going to be way more enjoyable. Or Visage mid, not that ideal, but oh well. Lone Druid banned out, at least that's going to be something that Duza got
Bounty mid.
Bounty mid.
Just hope that OD doesn't have sentries, but...
it could actually work.
Earthshaker, I mean, the Dire side block is actually very famous. It's very well known. That's been around for a million years.
Yeah.
The Radiant thing that was on Reddit and Imagear and stuff, that's a little newer. But obviously Fnatic's on Dire here. They ban out the Pugna, by the way, which is actually kind of a neat ban because Duza very much could go into the hard pushing composition here with Chen, Vengeful Spirit, Pugna. Pugna's the farmer, and then Doom is like in a potential jungling role, or Chen in the offensive jungle, Vengeful Spirit, Pugna, Doom in the safe jungle, or sorry, Doom solo safe OD mid. So there's a lot of options that they could have gone with here. They end up going with the Timber Saw, which is actually a pretty good pickup as well. It gives them even more damage potential. Basically have your lanes set here. Fnatic with the Morphling. So,
Morphling mid is actually pretty okay up against OD.
Is it? They could do dual mid, Morphling, IO. Won't he, though?
I don't think he will. He doesn't need that much mana to really do things. I mean, Of course, he'll have an issue with missing some last hits, but he won't get shut down that much. But we'll see where he goes for. It is at least Era playing the Morphling, so we're gonna assume that that's gonna be just just a farming Morphling. But let's see who's playing what, so that we maybe are gonna be relieved from our curiosity. No Tail will play the IO for this game. Era on the Morphling, already moving his way towards the top lane. Is Fly on his Visage, leaving Bounty Hunter, played by Trixie, and that means that we are gonna be seeing. Oh, there he is already there. I just didn't see him. Honey on his Earthshaker on the offlane already so far. He picked up Boots, he has got clarities, and he is gonna be there together with Trixie.
Right. That's certainly interesting. I mean, okay, we'll see how this pans out. By the way,
he's gonna
no
be
tail,
ancienting, because he can do that too.
Yeah, if they are gonna do the Earthshaker creep redirection, they can dual ancient. No Tail, by the way, has and I don't know why I'm like half asleep here. I don't know why I thought No Tail would be on the Visage when there's an IO, because he almost always plays the IO for Fnatic. He's got a bottle.
Hey.
So it's solo mid Wisp, 2 on top and 2 on bottom ancienting. Duza, meanwhile, have already blocked the ancient camp, so Boots 3 clarities, and let's take a look at Trixie's inventory. No sentries, so this plan is not going to work. Plan B to be enacted soon.
Nice for Duza, at least. Being on point there with making sure that they leave nothing up to chance, basically. So I'll leave Duza to be introduced by you. They are already having some issues with trying to harass this Bounty Hunter away, but they don't want to play sentries for him yet.
Yep, and the tri-lane Trixie currently successfully blocking a bunch of camps. He's just going to park himself on the magic bush when you don't have wards. Very efficient way to block some camps. Unstable on the Vengeful Spirit, harassing Bounty Hunter back a little bit. In the tri-lane is joined by Limbo on this one position Doombringer, and Capron doing a little bit of jungling on this Chen, of course. Then in the middle, to go up against No Tail's solo mid Wisp, we have Legion on the Outworld Devourer. I actually think Wisp is a better pick to go mid here than Morphling. I'm kind of skeptical about the Morphling. And then the top mid the best is in the 1v2 lane as the Timbersaw. And he's been pulled quite a bit.
Yeah, we are gonna see him trying to harass here. Some up on Fly. I like the Timbersaw offlane, he just doesn't really have that much danger of dying. And assuming that Duza isn't indeed expecting Earthshaker, or was expecting Earthshaker to be on the bottom lane, as he is making his way to
He could die here.
He can
He actually has a lot of chance of
the
dying.
Fissure if he finds a tree. Well, actually, no, he can't.
But he doesn't have...
Yeah.
No, he can't, because
Exactly.
he doesn't have Timber Chain. Yeah. You usually can't take Timber Chain first, you need to take Armor. But it does present a Darkseer-like difficulty where your escape mechanism, you either can take it at level 1, which causes its own problems, or you don't. Okay, so now he has Timber Chain. Now it's going to be relatively difficult. You can see that Fnatic, because they didn't get the Ancients, they were like, okay, fine. Well played. We didn't get our gimmick. We'll just go into a normal tri-lane. And I think this is perfectly viable, this real tri-lane.
Yeah, one thing that is, of course, the difference between the teams right now, if there is indeed just safe tri-lane, safe dual lane, is because it's the Chen in the jungle. He is getting farmed that Fnatic is not, of course, if he is continuing to jungle as effectively as Chen can, even though right now he's got himself a troll, and that is a potential for a kill. They do have a sentry, of course, as well, and they're gonna try to kill off Trixie. In comes the stun, maybe it's slightly early. The harassment already there, but there will be another stun there in the same fight. In comes an ensnare as well. Test of Fate doing a lot of damage. First blood goes the way of Capron. No second stun needed. That was a pretty grim Test of Fate for Trixie, to be fair.
Yeah, 165. Honestly, not that impressive of a roll. Only about... Here's the thing about Test of Faith. Most people don't acknowledge just how much damage this ability does. Like, that was an average roll for it. The thing is, it's pure. So, like, the fact that it's not reduced by any MR is, like, a huge deal and causes it to actually be a very beefy damage ability, except when you roll very poorly.
Yeah, and maybe the best having a decent time. I think this is one of the few games that we see where he doesn't get first blooded. But of course Timbersaw is a pretty sturdy hero for that, and just his team rotating successfully now with an Invis Rune up and unstable, going for No Tail. The stun is already there. Can he try and take him down? A couple hits needed. There we go. That's another kill added to the board. Duza 2-0.
Yeah, Io is very able to hold his own. Did we conclude that Io's a dude? I think it's Io's a dude.
If you think that IO is a dude, he's a dude. There you go.
He is. I remember this now. It's in the Spirit's flavor text. Io twists the particles of the universe with his unimaginable capabilities. Anyway, the point is, Io is actually able to hold its own against a lot of solo mids, and he's not that bad against OD, but as soon as Venge rotates, like, there's almost no way to survive, unless you have a creep wave coming in that you can tether to. In that case, he didn't. But if you do, you actually get a free get-out-of-jail-free card.
Yeah. A good timing for Duza there, as it looks like we might see something happening on the bottom lane again as well. Though right now Capron is just trying to continue farming. He didn't want to sit around and wait for the best possibility to go. You do have the Vengeful Spirit, Magic Missile followed up by a Centaur perhaps, but you have to have Trixie overextending slightly for it, because otherwise it doesn't work. The dust is there actually, they're gonna try and chase him down. It will be at least a lot of harassment coming off from the tower, trying to run for it, has got the dust, will almost be off again, and he's just gonna try and sit there and be safe, and it looks like it is successful. Goes invisible again, they know exactly where he is, and they see him again.
And they're just gonna scorch him to death.
Yep. Good luck with that, Trixie. Timbersaw dies
will.
top, but we're gonna follow Trixie. Oh my god, they walked the wrong way.
Oh, he's safe.
Pops his salve. Pops his salve. They're blocking it though. He can't get out. There's no way he's gonna get out.
He's in Chen jail. Well, this is good.
Yeah,
oh.
at least he can walk through it with the invisibility. But he makes itself out. The meantime, Timbersaw did get picked up on the top lane. Era in the end with the kill.
Yeah, what happened there was Hani took the haste rune. So he curled around the back here, popped down the fissure, and they killed Timbersaw pretty easily. So, pretty straightforward kill for Fnatic there. They get on the board. It's important to kill off this Timbersaw. You don't want 3 lanes to go well for Duza, because currently 2 lanes are going quite well. That said, Io, like I said, like it's not that impossible of a lane for this hero, actually.
Yeah, so far, No-Tail sitting on 15-4, with Legion sitting on 23-5. So of course, Legion's still getting ahead, but No-Tail at least not hopeless. He did die once, which is kind of sad. Puts Legion in a better position as well. Both heroes are, however, level 6. The difference is about half level. And the question will be, when is No-Tail going to be finding himself comfortable enough to rotate? And, of course, who is he going to rotate with? Or where is he going to rotate to? Because you can't hope to kill off a Timbersaw unless you have got that good positioning for...
Bounty Hunter is leveling pretty well, so one thing he can do is move around with Bounty Hunter and get some kills. Also... Fnatic has run this before with the Morphling. Morphling is actually going to rotate with Io. Especially if he gets Shotgun, which he probably will just go Lincoln's Shotgun. Then, you know, relocate pops pretty much anybody.
We have got a rotation again, same thing happening as what happened earlier. Hani again coming behind the tier 1 tower, might be the best. Does have level 2 Timber Chain. Will we be able to get away this time in time? Relocate coming in as well. They really want to take him down. Timber Chain does not hit, the stun is there, and MIB will get dropped. 5 heroes deployed for that. Of course, No-Tail will be back in the mid lane in no time. Will actually take himself a Bounty Hunter with him, by the looks of it.
Yep.
Because he has to, because, oh, in comes the harassment. They really want to get No-Tail one more hit. Boom, there he goes. Bounty lives, but No-Tail dies. That's one of the downsides. They know exactly where you're gonna come out again, and in the end,
for sure,
it's actually a pretty good trade for Duza, I think.
I think it's an okay trade for Duza. That said, Trixie still surviving is now going to get close to level 5 in this middle lane. Sorry, level 6 in this middle lane. And so adding on track will be very useful. And I did this Fnatic composition. I mean, I remember one of the Chinese teams, I can't remember who it was, but in an interview gave me a lot of respect to the Fnatic Morphling IO combo. They were like, we were not prepared for it at all. It completely took us by surprise and was extremely effective.
Let's see if it's just as effective up against Duza. I mean, they might be doing okay in the laning stage, but still, the moment that the levels are going to be starting to be there, and the farm, of course, as well, because Morphling is still free farming. He's doing just as good as the Doom is, both on 43 last hits. Of course, there's an assist for Doom on kills, and Morphling has got himself a kill and an assist, so gonna be slightly ahead in that case. But, oh, wait a second, Legion might be in some trouble. You have a Fissure maybe waiting around the corner, but nope, never mind that. But, I mean, the moment that Fnatic decides to rotate more than just the IO on the lane and more than just the Bounty Hunter when they find their top lane being done, then it's gonna be really scared for Duza, because are they gonna be ready for it? Is Doom gonna be ready for it?
Also, Morphling is a late game threat that's going to be pretty difficult to deal with. The thing is that this is the one game where I don't think anybody is going to doubt the choice to rush Linken's, right? Because you're talking about a Doombringer, and Doom will destroy Morphling if he gets the Doom on him and Morphling doesn't have Linken's to block it.
Yeah, relocate towards the top lane. The fish are already there. They want to try to go for maybe again. Creep helps out, and that's going to be again 5 heroes to take down that one Timbersaw.
They didn't get the track off, unfortunately, from Trixie, so they didn't get the extra gold, but certainly killing Timbersaw 3 times is fantastic. I mean, you want to hold this hero especially off of his Bloodstone, and that's what they're successfully doing. I mean, he's not even close to thinking about it.
And this time they TP'd from a bit more safe location on the bottom lane. Still in sight of the Doom, but he wasn't able to get a team there in time to try and take down the people that came back from that relocate gank. We've got a mechanism being built up by Legion. He is doing okay for that. He's actually almost, or he just needs a recipe and then some, like 300 gold or so, or 600 gold rather. And then he has it.
Yep. Yeah, I think he's just one headdress away. He does buy the recipe first, and pretty soon he'll get that. It's hard to hold an OD off his mechanism. I mean, he only has 42 last hits because he's been so afraid of possible incoming ganks, especially now that Trixie is 6.
Oh.
Other thing he's afraid of course, is courier snipes. Meanwhile, Timbersaw actually survives.
Hand of God though, MVP. Doom up on fly, thou shall not TP. That's gonna be Limbo with a kill. And of course a Doom, maybe, it's a good TP, or good interrupting for the TP. In comes No Tail. Era already trying to take down Unstable, gets it as well, still gets a stun, but Limbo locked in place and taken down. In comes Legion, able to pick up Ioga, now has to run though, because he is way outnumbered, and Era is not yet done. I don't think he can get him, and he thinks doesn't think so either. So that's gonna be 2 for 2 in the end.
2 for 2, but I would say favorable for Fnatic. They did get a track on at least one of the people that they killed with that great fissure trap. Fnatic right now are just doing a little bit better about positioning themselves for these fights. Like, suddenly there's 5 of them in one place, and Duza are rarely, if ever, prepared for it. And then moments later, they all disperse back to their lanes to continue farming up and getting experience. So, very nice movement from Fnatic around the map, and they need good movement to make this lineup work, and they're getting it.
Yeah, next to that, they killed off the Doom, of course, the one hard carry that Duza have. While their Morphling hasn't died yet a single time, and he has been participant of all kills that have happened so far on the map. 2 kills, 3 assists, and his Lincolns is right around the corner. Well,
it is. Yeah. It's a fantastic game for Era. Meanwhile, Capron is buying Headdress, which is really bad.
Maybe it's a little miscommunication.
Thought I'd have a better analysis of it, but this is obviously an error. Pipe is not the correct approach against this team. Maybe it is, but Chen wouldn't be going pipe this early. I'm pretty sure this headdress was just the beginning of a mech because he's on autopilot.
Oh, they want to try and fight here. Nice weave from already over the 2 supports. Era, though, taking a lot of damage. Has to try and be careful there. Gets swapped. Gets stunned up. No, Era should be fine. And only the Timbersaw dies so far. The Doom goes up on the Bounty Hunter. But he is able to get himself away. Visage not so lucky, gets picked up by the OD. Tower will still get it picked up. Deny, Annie, nicely done.
Deny.
Very nicely done with the fish ring coming. And in the end, I'm kind of surprised that Duza wasn't able to get more of that after that. It felt like Limbo was waiting too long with the Doom. He could have put it up on the Morphling.
Wasn't it on CD until like
that could
part
be.
of the
that
fight?
Could have been that.
Yeah,
that would have been
it was on cooldown when the fight started. So excellently timed by Fnatic actually. Otherwise, yeah, he would have snapped Doom the Morphling, I'm pretty sure. So Fnatic get a tower out of it, and they deny a tower, and they trade kills. And the team with the Bounty Hunter always wants to trade kills.
Yeah.
So this is still many happy returns coming in for Fnatic overall here.
Yeah, 6 for 6. I have to say Duza still in favor of the gold though. We have got them 1k gold in favor. There is a tower difference, and of course Chen makes a bit of a difference, and a Devourer makes a bit of a difference as well.
Right, right.
Experience also in favor of Duza, by the way, but only by 1k as well.
They are a little bit in favor, but there are bigger strategic holes here, which is that Morphling is moving towards Lincoln's very quickly, and Timbersaw is moving towards nothing quickly at all because he's had 4 deaths. So this Timber is gonna be a little bit one and done, in addition to the fact that he's starting to get kind of under level. Like, he had what you would mostly consider an easier lane than Trixie, and yet Trixie is level 8 and he's level 6.
Yeah, tower gets traded here. Tier 1 mid for Tier 1 top. Slightly more important for Fnatic. Oh, relocate bottom. They want to try and get Limbo. He already has a track on him. He tries to run for it. Very fast hero, of course, but Era, we forming over the top, attacking Limbo. In comes some support. Unstable, Legion, all here looking for a stun. Going for the Bounty Hunter. Able to pick him off, but The other two will relocate themselves back out. But Limbo lives and they get themselves a kill. So nice rotations coming off there for Duza.
Mib, the best, is in a lot of trouble.
Getting slowed off. In comes also 3 other heroes still from Fnatic. Capron, Hand of God, won't keep him safe. Chakram doesn't do enough, and MIB just tries to run away for this one, and he should be safe, but his gen of course picked up in the end.
Yeah, this under-level Timbersaw really can't punish this in any meaningful capacity. Now, they use a fissure on nothing. I do think that was really good by Duza in response to the attempted relocate gank on Doom. Almost everything they did there was extremely smart, and they didn't end up having to use the Doom for it either. I liked his very quick response. Phase boots to the north, Drum of Endurance, try to juke out using the tree paths. It was all very, very clean, and they got the Bounty Hunter as well. And honestly, OD is level 11, so he's got that level 2 ultimate now, almost has 4 staff. I think Duza are doing well. I just worry about the time bomb of the Morphling.
And one thing that we haven't really said yet, but one thing that people should know, is that No-Tail is actually also controlling the familiars.
Oh, is it that? Is it where they let No-Tail just micro anyway?
Yeah, I think that it is.
It's funny, because Io's not the easiest hero to control either. You gotta get the tether geometry, the spirits in, spirits out, relocate positioning, and on top of that, also microing flies familiars for him.
Yeah.
How do you even tell that? Can you see the shared control situation?
It looked for a second there, like, why are they moving the same? Oh, I remember. I mean, they said this, of course, at TA3. They mentioned that this happened. Oh, they go for the swap. Do they have the vision still? Nope. No detection. There comes a send for a late one, though. As from Prisman, they will be Doom usage if need be. Chakram slowing them down. They're not going to try and use the Doom. They're just going to kill him off, and they do. Chen with the last hit.
They can't use Doom in that situation. You don't know who's going to come counter gank. You need that Doom for error or something.
It's just blocking off the path.
No, nice tree cut. Oh, it wasn't as nice as I thought.
It wasn't nice at all. Everybody waiting patiently to go.
It was a good idea. The idea was smart.
Yeah. In the meantime, their own tier 2 getting picked up as well. And of course, the bigger difference is that Fnatic does this with 2 heroes. Well, there's actually 5 heroes here on the bottom lane, taking down the tier 2 on the bottom lane for Fnatic.
That said, I mean, Doom getting pretty close to BKB. That'll be quite useful, I think. And I think Duza are hitting some of their targets. Legion and Limbo are going to have a period in which they're quite a bit more dangerous than at least what Morphling is bringing to the table.
They want to go here. They want to go for Capron. Limbo.
I don't know about this, actually.
Yeah, this can be quite risky. 4 seconds they have. They go for No-Tail. Might be able to pick him up. One more hit needed. No, he relocates out just in time. Oh, gets picked off because OD was waiting for him. Waiting for Ira as well, but Ira will TP himself out as Earthshaker still gets picked off by the Doom on the bottom lane.
This is why I firmly believe Duza are really legit. Like, their responses to actions are just very much like they don't really seem to get super flustered. They just sort of react the way that you'd want a strong team with the correct decision making to react, which is something that you really can't reliably say of a lot of less known or newer tier 2 or whatever teams. I just think that was exactly what you'd want to do in response to a relocate gank on your Chen, right? Like, focus the IO. That could have gone even better if they'd killed the IO faster. They would have had a free kill on Morphling afterwards. Yeah. It's a shame that they didn't get it, but it was like half a second away.
Yeah, and in the end, of course, still able to get it done is still a big deal. Morphling waiting around here. It looks like Courier kill at least goes down. That was the Radiance Courier, by the way. That was, of course, Bounty Hunter sitting in the path there. Morphling weak-forming in. Hand of God already used. No-Tail getting stunned up. Chakram will kill him off together with the Sanity's Eclipse. Ira backing himself out. Fly gets a Doom on him, tries to fly away, but the level death will kill him off. Hanny running for his life. Morphling can be here if he wants to, but I don't think he does. Morphling gets stunned up, tries to get away, tries to kill on Legion. Can't stick around here for very much longer. No-Tail who bought back. Tries to save him.
Imprisonment.
Down goes the Bounty Hunter still. Nice Fisher up on 3. Nice Acro Slam as well from Hani. Can he actually make something else happen here? Limbo taking a lot of damage, ends up going down. That is gonna be a triple kill for Era. Daryl still Timbersaw with a double kill. There's still a lot of kills going the way of Duza as well, but right now they are the ones to lose the fight. They are the ones to be forced to back off. It did cost a buyback on the IO, but brilliant play from Fnatic. Nice coordination.
Good coordination. Really, that comes down to Hani and Era, honestly.
Hani, I'd say.
Other than that, I would say Duza had a very good fight. They even saved Legion by, he was at extremely low health, Astral Imprisonment, the combination of Astral and the Chen teleport saved him and sent him back all the way home. So he leaves without even dying. He's 6-0-2. The problem is, I think the Roche was a little bit too speculative. Like, you're up against Dyer, who can buy back, obviously. And
there's still tier 2 that you can teleport to really
yeah.
fast.
I think this is my criticism of Duza a little bit, I guess. They sometimes feel like they can take bigger map objectives than the game situation warrants. Like, yesterday we had a game which they, like, got a momentary reprieve and they immediately went for tier 3s and just got crushed. And in this game, they take a pretty good advantage, but then they go for Roche. I don't think they really had a good shot at the Roche, frankly.
In the meantime, the trades that have been happening, even though often in favor of Fnatic, even purely by track kills, the gold graph still only 1k in favor of Duza. I mean, there's still a 1 tower difference. Gotta keep that in mind. But the tower difference is in favor of Duza, so that 1k could be, you know, traced back down to that one if you want to. But the differences are all slightly in favor of Duza, but all really still really close. 2k experience in favor of Duza.
And Fnatic's distribution of farm right now is exactly what Fnatic would want, because Era picked up a triple in that last fight, took him from barely finishing his Lincolns to Lincoln's done, Yasha done, about halfway, well not halfway, but about more than a third of the way towards the Manta to finish that up, and then Aegis as well on top. So this Morphling is now went from like, now he's in the scary zone to like well in the I can just tank your team zone.
Yeah.
That's a serious issue. They still have pop his Lincolns with something, then doom him, and that'll still be useful for a while, but it is a little bit scary for Duza as a consequence of that big Roche fight.
Yeah, next to that, Era has also been involved in all fights so far. At least he has a 100% attendance rate for all kills. 5 kills, 5 assists. That's how it works. So looking pretty solid indeed for Fnatic, I would say. We have a pipe indeed being built up by the Chen after he realized probably that they couldn't get his mech. We have the BKB up by the Doom. Will be a big item to be used by Limbo. He has of course not used it yet, so it's 10 seconds. Especially if Honey's gonna make those kind of big plays, you are really gonna be happy if you have your BKB turned on.
I do think the pipe is, after all that, I think the pipe is warranted, because if you, that Echo Slam was already really extremely good from Hani, and you can see the Fnatic is giving him a lane to farm. That's because he's pretty close to the Blink Dagger, so the Echo Slams are only going to probably get better.
And pipe then is going to be really handy for Duza, because they have been looking for those fights. They've been going around with 5 people trying to take down the towers, trying to take down a Roshan. Of course, that didn't really work as well as they probably would have wanted it to.
Sure.
But
this could be an easy tower.
Yeah. Easy tower for both sides. We have the relocate used for that, by the way. Aya will be back soon. Let's see where he's going to. Oh, he was on the top lane, so that's gonna be them pushing the lane back out, not defending this tier 2 mid. And this will be next Roshan. Duza is gonna be having an easier time at the Roche pit in terms of not fearing the buyback too much. Unless, of course, I mean, it's still an IO. If he can relocate himself back, he's still gonna be in the fight.
It's
or
pretty
morph
hard to
himself
tell.
into a fight if Morphling dies and buys back.
Right. I think it's still really hard to say what it's going to look like in 7 minutes. This game, I think the next Roche will be decided more by which team is sort of farther along towards its benchmarks in 7 minutes than that particular tier 2. Just because if Morphling has Manta plus 1 more item and hasn't died by that point, it's going to be fairly difficult for Duza to contest it, even if they have superior map control. Whereas if Morphling has 2 deaths by that point, and maybe even if his buyback is on cooldown or something, it'll be relatively difficult for Fnatic to contest without like a perfect Echo Slam. Limbo could be in trouble, maybe, depending on how they do this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because talking about perfect Echo Slam, well, here comes the BKB, that will help out. He'll still try to run, but Era's still hitting very hard. Hand of God helping out, trying to make it happen, that he can get himself out safe. In comes the TP, he's all supporting Limbo. BKB ends, and Era is not done. Era gets himself a kill. Io in the last moment, sniping the last hit away. Down goes the Vengeful Spirit. Timbersaw, rolling death, doing some damage to Honey there, but they'll relocate themselves out. Era now by himself. Oh, Bounty Hunter also still around this. They're gonna wait for the IO to come back, but I don't think that Fnatic is gonna let IO go down. They're trying to tether himself away. In comes a Doom, by the way, up on Era. Era running himself away. Looks like he might be okay by the looks of it. Familiar is definitely playing a part in this one, and they're gonna lose Era this way. Can't find him anymore. Go for no-till. There comes the level death, and that's gonna be Era coming back, but the Doom already ended, and they're gonna come back to try and take this fight. Legion goes down. No-till. Careful. Still alive for now. It might be the best ends up going down. Wicked, sick Era. Down goes Limbo. No, he gets sent home. Is it in time? No, it's not. He goes down. Double kill for Era. Not over yet. Morphing into the illusion that he just made. Triple kill. And indeed, he still has the Aegis. This is a team wipe. Because Vengeful Spirit, of course, was the first one to die on the side of Duza. And Fnatic themselves not losing a single person. And Doom actually died and bought back afterwards.
Yeah, and died again. I mean, this is...
Yeah, and died again.
It really comes back to that big Roshan engagement, and because Duza were kind of stymied there and just let Era get so far ahead and take the Aegis, you end up with Morphling just being vastly bigger than anything they can put on the table. So, it was pretty well played by Duza. They can still win, but it's going to be... Like, their odds are basically like 10-ish%. Because Morphling is almost completely unanswerable. Like, you could just saw that he basically shrugged off the Doom after a while there.
Yeah, he just waited it out, came back, and I mean, even if he died, he still had that Aegis. Whoa! Legion, that you came out too far, gets forced up into safety. Is it enough? Looks like it. Nice Chakram helping out. Mechanism keeps everybody up, though. An overcharge, of course. Less damage taken. Legion, where are you going, Legion? Where are you going? Turns on his BKB, but has to walk a long way back to base and already has to go back to his fountain, getting chased down by Era. Astral Imprisonment will help out. No-till will be picked off. That's going to be a Timber Saw down on the back end. Capron way out too far. Goes down as well. Era now goes for another support on stable. Gets dropped. Legion tracked up. Forced off towards the base. He has to let his Rex go. Tries to do what he can. Is at least able to pick off Trixie. But will go down. There's your Doom. Still though, Era no longer having an Aegis. He's not going to... Or maybe he actually will go down from that Doom. Yeah, he does. There he goes. Tower helping out for sure. No team members nearby. In comes Legion. Gets a triple kill by killing another Vision. Now goes for Hani. He's completely out of mana. YOLO going to the fountain. Okay, so that's going to be everybody of Fnatic dead. And that's going to be... I mean, we saw this yesterday, right?
They did 52 damage to the tier 3 during that period of time.
I think we saw this yesterday in a game where a team was indeed very far ahead.
Yeah, it was against Duza.
It was against Duza. And it was... Who was it? I don't remember. Well, it was...
It was... Who the hell was playing Duza?
Quantic.
Empire? Quantic.
And again, they just... Like, either Duza baits it out, or that is gonna be just another team overextending.
Oh, they do bait it out. I mean, in that fight, remember Doom walking down the steps?
Yeah, that was kind of awkward.
And then... So his entire path, like, let's do a little, like, here's Christopher Columbus's route. So he starts here, he goes here, turns on the BKB, and then walks all the way back
He was here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right, you're totally right. He walked all the way here, and then just lured No-Tail and Era back to here. So they took out the Wisp extremely early in that fight. And keep in mind, Io's buyback was still on cooldown at that point. So... basically, they ensured that Era wouldn't have that enormous extra amount of like regen and backup and movement speed, etc. So then they sort of just isolated. It was a really good fight, honestly, from Duza. Extremely scrappy, but at this point, that's like all they have.
I mean, it works. Why not, right?
It works after a fashion. They lost 4, but they killed 5.
Yeah.
They didn't use any more buybacks as the other crew. Oh no, they did. They used the OD buyback. So could have been better, but OD is getting somewhere. He's getting close to BKB now. Doesn't do any more damage, but it does keep him alive.
In the meantime, Morphling, Era has got himself Ghost Scepter, so that's indeed going to be an Ethereal Blade soon. When I say soon, he's got 1700 gold, so he's a bit away, but depending on how fast the next fight happens, it will actually be fairly soon. We have got Roshan up again in 1 minute though, and I think that both teams will want to have that, depending on how far Fnatic gets here on the top lane, because Era decides to go on the tier 3 tower. So far, just not letting himself get interrupted. MIB the best is the only one that shows up, and apparently that's not a threat. They go for him. They might be able to kill him off, and they do pick him off. A track kill at that. Fnatic already starting out 4 on 5 if they choose to go for this fight. In comes Limbo, looking for a target. Looking for No-Tail. No-Tail gets himself inside the tree line, though. Has to
This
be
is
careful.
kind of scary for Limbo,
yeah,
actually.
very scary for everybody of Duza. Era's sitting around there, only needs 400 gold for his Ethereal Blade.
Yeah, if Blade is gonna really be strong this game. And Fnatic, all they really have to do is push the lanes far enough in that they get the free Rosh. Like I said, like, at this point, the tower situation doesn't really matter as much as the fact that Duza can't even approach the Rosh. Let's suppose that Fnatic sees Duza leaving their base to go for Rosh. Relocate Morphling to the high ground, and you can take this Rax, right? So, effectively, Duza doesn't really have a good route to win Rosh unless Fnatic make an error.
This later up on Trixie's Bounty Hunter. Ooh, look at that!
And Atos!
A rod of Athos. That's not something that you see every day. Hello, Hand of God already helping out Era. Is he in for his head? He went down! In comes Era Honey though, saving the day. Blinking in with an Echo Slam, gets swapped into enemy lines here. He's already doomed up, and he actually will get picked off here unless Noto can help him, which he cannot. Timbersaw still getting picked off on the back end. Fly trying to back out, getting blocked in by creeps. Still, No Tail trying to keep the bounty hunter safe.
Oh, what a
Limbo.
save.
Whoa, what an Astral Imprisonment helping out. No Tail taking another orb, taking a lot of damage. Bounty hunter, same story. Will be going. Oh, Cabron! Nice satire shockwave. 4 for 2, and you know, all that started out because Morphling Era thought, you know what, I got myself an Ethereal Blade, I'm gonna use it right now, and his whole team had to follow him, and that was just suicide mission 101.
That actually, yeah, so that was a pretty big overconfidence play from Fnatic. They don't even get Doom, which surprises me. That was excellent. I do have to say that this is the most impressive game from Legion I've seen thus far. Short's OD, who's a pretty overpowered hero, but that was just really excellent. The defensive Astral Imprisonments from him in this, both on himself and that time on Limbo, extremely on point. So Duza, they're hanging on. That was an extremely consequential fight for them. To stay in the game, they probably needed to win that. I didn't think they could, but here's trouble.
Yeah, and here's the relocate. That's already Chen picked up. That's the Ethereal Blade for you. Looking for more targets. BKBs all around. No till 5 seconds they have until they can kill him off. Oh, and I do pick him up. That means that Era is all by his lonesome. Oh, hello, honey. Not all by his lonesome anymore. Lands down a Fisher. Allows Era to maybe find himself an escape route. In comes Fly as well. Era able to indeed get himself out with this replicate as Timbersaw goes down. Doom taking a soul assumption, taking a stomp from Era. Another Astral Imprisonment, keeping Limbo safe. And it is enough. Limbo actually helps get a kill. Bounty Hunter buys back though. He really wants to take down Limbo. He buys back, but he cannot TP in.
Fisher.
Nice swap. Unstable, saving
These
his
teams
Limbo.
are actually playing really well, even though this is an extremely wild and strange game. There's been a lot of high-level play on both sides. Here's the thing, though, Duza still can't Rosh, and in fact, they've given another easy Rosh to Fnatic.
Yeah.
So, again, it's... They don't seem willing to accept when they're behind, which is good in a sense, because it's like, you know, fighting spirit, believe in the heart of the cards, etc. But they always go for map objectives that are just so hard to take. Like, when they went for that Rosh, Morphling had 3 seconds left on his respawn, and Doom had 36 seconds left on his Doom cooldown. So what's the plan there, right? Like, I don't know. I love this team, actually. I think they're really good.
Oh,
but...
relocate in already comes a Chakram. Nice swap. Era actually already loses his Aegis. It might be slightly suicidal. No Tail's gonna come back to try and save him, though. Tether is there, or is there not? No. It is not there. Oh, there it is. 1 second. Boom, they're out. Leaving Hani by himself. Hani dies. No surprise there. OD able to pick him up. That was suicide mission again. Fnatic
are making a tremendous amount of errors, though. Like, they're making high-level plays, especially Hani, but they're also making a lot of mistakes. Era, I mean, there's no other way to put it. He gifted them his Aegis just now.
Yep. Nice swap, though, helping out as well, putting him slightly out of possession.
They opened up their inventory, and it was like, here you go, sincerely, Era.
We have got Fnatic in favor of the gold, though, by quite a lot. 9k now. They are keeping it even. We are seeing it also slightly taking it back. I mean, it was at 10k, over 10k at some point. I mean, Fnatic is still definitely in the lead. Experience graph shows more how we feel this game might be. I mean, it was very far in favor of Fnatic at some point. And then the last couple of fights just make sure that Duza, you know, welcome back into the game.
I think Fnatic are still doing somewhat better.
Yeah.
Morphling is going to need a BKB, like, yesterday-ish. So I think Era will probably go BKB next, because really so the difference maker in the fights has just been the fact that this Arcane Orb is blowing apart Morphling in every fight. And Outworld Devourer is level 20 with a BKB, so he's not the easiest guy in the world to kill. Especially once you add the Chen Global Heal and the Chen Mechanism. And the pipe now that Chen now has as well.
Yeah.
So I think as long as Era is able to withstand the damage that is coming in from Legion, they should still win. But I mean, I really thought that Duza were almost out of this, and Fnatic's follow-through, or lack thereof, has really given them an interesting window back in.
Yeah, we're gonna see Fnatic getting smoked upon, as in Duza smokes up, goes into the dire jungle. The IO and Morphling are top, so that's gonna be Era no-till. I mean, there's gonna be a relocate if need be. Era also has got an illusion up, so there would be a save, unless he gets doomed first. No, unless the link is and lets him out.
That's the tough thing. Morphling can so quickly replicate when you try to do that. That's what the Linken's gives you. It gives you that they didn't see no-till.
Capron might see him though. He might be in a bit of danger. He's gonna come in from
worth it.
behind. Now they see him.
He wants to...
Oh, he's
No-till wants,
invisible.
like,
What am I saying? I don't like that IOs are not looking to be invisible when they're actually
That's true.
invisible.
I didn't notice that either. That's really funny.
It's like, okay, he's just walking in.
Oh my god!
Now
They
they
found
see
him,
him.
they found him.
Random sentry word placement helps out. In comes a dust. They know he's there. Earn charge as well. Swap. Can they actually get him? Center stomp. Boom! No till you're dead.
Sick instincts. My god.
That one sentry was like, hey, maybe there's a bounty hunter here. You know?
Did he actually get in his path? Like, was there some, like, body blocking? Accidental?
That could have been.
It might have been what it was. I mean, here's the thing about also Timbersaw, like, this game sort of illustrates how you deal with a Timbersaw, right? Like, if you pile on the pressure early and he never hits... That Bloodstone point is so tremendously important for Timbersaw. Like, it's like hitting 6 for a Bounty Hunter. It's like hitting 6 for Clockwork. Except with Timbersaw, it's not a level thing so much, it's the item farm. If he never hits Bloodstone, he has a minimal impact at best on the game. Like, Mib, he's gotten some good hits with, like, Whirling Death, but honestly, it's been marginal at best. The game's been carried on the wings of OD.
Yeah, we've got ourselves a Timbersaw that has died 9 times this game. I mean, with that, the kills still fairly even. 26 kills on Fnatic, of course. 9 of those on the Timbersaw is, well, it's a pretty big chunk of those kills, to be fair. Those deaths, I should say, rather. I mean, to be fair, also IO died 8 times. We have Bounty Hunter dying 7 times. A lot of people died a lot, apart from OD and Morphling, who both only died twice this game.
The limitations of solo mid IO are pretty apparent here too. Solo mid IO is like one of my favorite things in the entire world, but it does not scale into late game. Like, you're just an IO like any other IO.
Yeah. And this IO, I mean, does maybe had some earlier farm, but in terms of items, if you look at his inventory, you see the same items that you would see on an IO 35 minutes into the game that had a good ganking mid-game. Yeah, a support
You just
IO.
don't scale, honestly. The main things you get from solo mid IO are really fast relocate and really fast spirits level 4. But Pat, it's nothing. If you can dominate, maybe you can hit like a faster heart or something, but no-till's really nowhere near the heart. Era, by the way, it looks like he's going Scotty, and I really wish he would go the BKB, but I understand Fnatic's love of Scotty. Or I can't say that I understand it, but I acknowledge it. They really love Scotty.
We've got another smoke up for Duza. They walk into their own jungle this time, knowing that there is at least a bounty hunter there. They know that he's there. The dust is popped. The stun. The kill. Boom. Trixie down. At least it was Honey that's able to get himself out of there. He has a 4-step now as well,
streak, by the way. I didn't even know that until the announcer said it. They've gotten the last 7... No, just 5 kills, but still.
5
But the
kills?
problem is,
Still
this
pretty
naked
decent.
Rax is going to be causing them some amount of headache.
Yeah, Era though. I mean, still applying some pressure. I mean, this open Rax is still pretty scary because with Morphling, you can split push so easily. Because the moment that you see something that troubles you, you can of course get yourself out of there. No till. Be careful there. He has a haste rune that definitely helps. But I mean, the moment that you see someone coming to defend, of course you can get yourself in a replicate and you can get yourself out. But until then, split pushing, especially also with help of the Manta style, goes really fast for Morphling. If he can get himself some freedom there, of course, which is what you would hope for then. And what was the case, of course, a moment ago when everybody of Duza was in their own jungle ganking up on the Bounty Hunter.
Right. I mean, they're getting there. Bloodstone's done. The Cuirass will help quite a bit on the Doom, I think, as well. So their loadouts are actually looking very healthy to me. OD, of course, is going to hold buyback, but then make Sheepstick, almost certainly. On the other hand, Hani, this is a pretty big Earthshaker at this point. Blink Dagger, Force Staff. He's got all the repositioning to land perfect Echo Slams that he could want. And the only thing stopping him is the fact there are these BKBs, but Doom's is down to 6. OD's is still at 9.
Yeah, Viscardian also up on that Morphling, so he bought out completely, doesn't have a buyback. And I think that we're gonna see...
Intriguing choice also.
Yeah, we're gonna see the teams waiting for the next Roshan. I mean, slightly depressing because it's gonna be only up in 3 minutes, but that's gonna be such an important Roshan to have. Fnatic is gonna feel safe again to try to go for high ground. Maybe this time a little bit more calculated, as last game time they tried it, it was kind of awkward. And Duza kind of needs it to be able to make something more happen apart from just defending, because so far they've been either smoking up or they have been defending. And they want to make something happen. I mean, that's their thing. They go 5-man and they go mid. We have seen them, or mid, or bottom, or top, rather. But we have seen them do that the entire game. We've seen them do it in other games as well. But yeah. they want an Aegis to try and actually have an...
They do. It's cheese next, too.
Yeah.
So both teams will really, really want that. I do think... I mean, Duza are doing the right thing. They can't really not 5-man. There's too much danger of Morphling... The kill is nearly instantaneous once Morphling and IO are on you, because you get Ethereal Bladed, that makes you damage vulnerable, he gets the Adaptive Strike, and Wisp hits you with every one of the spirits. There's almost no way you survive.
I think Hani wants to go for big play. Tries to go for maybe a repeat of what happened previous time when Bounty Hunter got ganked. He's sitting in the jungle waiting for someone to come by and for someone to be to jump upon. Because that would of course be nice. Bounty Hunter though, he has to be careful. There's still a sentry ward there. It's gonna disappear soon and they don't have another one. At least
this
they have
is kind of
dust.
wild. They can jump in is the thing. Maybe Fnatic feel that they need a big play to try to take this. Because that was a possibility. They could have relocated in as Hani jumped in for the Echo Slam and done some huge plays. As it is, this is just the more intelligent way, though, is just continually pressure this naked Rax.
Oh,
Here we
they
go.
go bottom indeed. MMB already out though. In safety. Timbersaw, never mind. Hello, Ethereal Blade. In comes a Doom up on air though. And this is a pipe up also for Duza. Sanity's Eclipse is kind of missing. It's kind of off point. It was a bit awkward. Fnatic gets himself out.
Actually, Duza are going to get Raxed right now.
Yo, hello, relocate back towards the top lane. Era hitting on some creeps while the fortification is on, but that's gonna be the Manta Cell pop. That's gonna be Melee Rex down. Duza, can they get back in time? No, they cannot. Era just wrecking things here.
Yep, the IO.
Ethereal Blade, Chen, wait from over the top. It's enough. It's gonna be a kill. IO takes it. It might be the best. Will be the next target. Era still very tanky. Now gets let go of his IO. Now he has to go back out. Now he has to be careful. Unstable still alive for now. No-Teo alive as well, but he has a negative urn charge up on him. And if they're gonna chase this, the bottom lane will get pushed out. Hello, Mechanism. That's gonna put them back on the map. Bottom lane, like I said, getting pushed out. Hani and Trixie will be laying down some pressure on that tier 3 as OD goes down. Morphling gets back into this. Ethereal Blade still off cooldown. Can use it. Doesn't need a double kill with the 2 cores of Duza. Buyback for those 2 cores as well. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, in the end...
Relocate to base to get back up. Trixie turns on his BKB. They don't have detection though. There comes the dust. He's way too fast, however.
Yeah, I mean, if OD spends a lot of his time chasing this bounty hunter, they'll lose the rest of their base. Era is hunting the Timbersaw again.
Yeah, and he gets him as well. In comes a stun, but I don't think that's enough. They need more damage. Unstable getting picked off while being stunned by familiars. No, down goes No-Teo still though, so at least they get that one. But Limbo is not allowed to go into his base. Hani prevents it with a Fisher. Fly will still get picked up by Legion. Double kill for him, but he'll get picked up. This is Era done with farming, and a GG gets called. Fnatic end up taking this game 41 minutes, but I said it yesterday, and I will say it again today as well. Duza put up one hell of a fight. I think they've proved to everybody that they're not just the qualified team that will lose all the games because they are, like, in theory, at the bottom of the food chain. No, they are definitely a team that you cannot take lightly.
Yeah, I mean, Medusa played pretty well. In the end, IO... The strength of this hero is just that you essentially have 2 people that can be anywhere on the map at any given time. I mean, that's kind of a triviality, but that's what won them the game in the end. They really struggled to finish off the game until they fully leveraged the IO at the end, where they were like, well, we can credibly present a threat to Raxu and a threat to win this team fight at the exact same time. And Duza didn't quite have the mobility or enough of an advantage to actually either deflect the push really quickly or win the team fight really quickly. So well played to Fnatic. A couple pretty big hiccups, but overall, Era strong, IO strong. They start their Star Ladder series off with a pretty big win.
Yeah. They're going to be having maybe, like on paper, a bit more tougher opponent. They're going to be up against Virtus.pro tomorrow as the first game of the day, which start at 1700. Let's check if that's indeed correct. Sunday. No, the first game, actually, one game got pushed forward. We have 4 games tomorrow starting at 1600. Menace versus Ubels, and then Virtus.pro versus Fnatic. Fnatic versus NextKZ, and KP versus Aspera will be our games for tomorrow. So also pretty tough games up for Fnatic tomorrow, but yeah, nice showing for the first game of the season, and I think a lot more even of a match than a lot of people were expecting of these two teams. I like it.
Yeah, me too.
Up with the underdog. Anyways, of course, you can all check us on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. It is twitter.com/Vickerman for my co-caster, and it's twitter.com/ShiverGaming for myself. Make sure to follow us to support us. And of course, Vickerman, do you have any other plugins and shoutouts and all that jazz?
No, just thanks to you. Thanks, of course, to the tournament organizers today, both StarLadder and RGN. And cheers to all the fans. Dota TV and Twitch, however you want to watch the games. Really cool game today. StarLadder, honestly, we've had a lot of good games so far this season.
Yeah.
Just because a lot of the teams are so even, or at least close enough to even that it provides for good games.
Yeah, and still, I mean, some of the more bigger names still getting used to working together, and some of the more up-and-coming teams who have been playing together for a long time, going up against those kind of teams and team play, able to outplay them in the end. It's all I like it. I like it a lot. It's exciting. We're also, of course, going to have this week, as in coming week, so starting tomorrow, I guess, not just Fnatic, who is going to be playing for the first time in StarSeries, but also Alliance and Na'Vi will be playing soon in StarSeries, and then they'll have to play still 15 games in the season to catch up and to actually try and get themselves in the top 4 of StarSeries, because that's where everybody wants to be, because the top 4 gets invited to the LAN finals in Kiev. That was it for today, though. We only had one game, unfortunately. Stick around if you want to watch commercials, but otherwise, have a good night. In terms of watching competitive Dota, you can turn on, let's see for a second, you can soon, I guess, turn on the Natolic Pro League. Starts at 8, so you have got an hour break or so. Will be 4FC versus Denial on Natolic TV. Anyways, thanks for joining us, and see you tomorrow.